Alright guys, welcome back to our video series for Dungeon Crusade. And the rulebook series is going to teach you how to play and the specifics to save you a little bit of time in the rulebook. Let's get started. So this particular section is all about victory and defeat conditions. We're going to talk about how to win. We're going to talk about the terror track. We're going to talk about quest completion. We're going to talk about all that stuff. So let's just get into it because that's what you're here for. So here we are. This is the village board, and there's some other videos on how to do setup. But when you set up the game, you're going to go to your scenario book, and you're going to find a page like this. This scenario book tells you everything there is to know about setup, the seeding process, the dungeon, all the different bazaar, the village, all that sort of stuff, right? So you're going to reference this page. So on this page, in terms of winning and losing, a couple important things. The number one is the quest table. This is going to tell you where, what quests are going to be out there that you need to complete. And also, this will tell you what the village terror level is. And also the guardians per quest table. So you can see all that, right? All that's important stuff. We're going to need all that. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the quest table. So, for example, here we have this first quest table. It says the Baron's Wine. Again, now you'll notice level 1, level 2, level 3 in the top right there. So you're going to have 3 quest tables. When we refer to a specific quest, we're talking about just the card. When we talk about a quest table, we're referring to this whole thing, all 3 of these things. So this quest table is going to show us a main quest, a side quest, and then a Kill the Guardians quest, which isn't an actual card, but it's just a value that we need to meet. And then for your terror level, you're going to have a chart here. Again, you can, when the setup, we'll talk about what this means, but basically you're going to set a village terror level at some value. And we're going to have some number for Kill the Guardians that tells us how many we have. So, for example, on this first scenario, it lists for the first quest table the Baron's Wine, Chambers of the Corrupt, and then, of course, Kill the Guardians. So I would suggest that your quest cards be split up. And if you look at your quest cards, let's use the actual one here, you'll see in the top right corner there, or top left, there's an icon that says, it says AR, for example. It says AR, for example. So that stands for Ancient Ruins. And if you'll notice, on the quest table, where it says dungeon, it's going to tell you which dungeon you're going to reference. So you got several dungeons. You got Ancient Ruins. You've got Castle Blackwood. You've got the Tomb of Kaladar. Right? There's 4 total. So you're going to find those quests. And I'm not going to put the specific ones. Let's just say, like I said, this quest showed. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just do it like this. I think this will be helpful. There we go. So here's an example. We see the Baron's Quest, Chamber of the Corrupt, Kill the Guardians, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our stack here and we're going to find those quests. So we've got the Baron's Wine. We've got Chamber of the Corrupt. That's the 2 quests. All right. So I've got my 2 quests here. Right, the Baron's Wine, Chamber of the Corrupt. Now I'm set for that. Let's go back to this board. So this board is what's going to track your quest and quest tables. So in order to win the game, you're going to need to complete each quest table. And I'm going to look at the list, and each quest table is going to have a different main quest and side quest. And I'm going to put those out here, and I'm not going to worry about the specifics, but you'll have something like this, where you have a main quest and a side quest, and then another main quest, right, and a side quest. And so you're going to just lay those out over here just like this. Now in setup, we'll talk about how you seed the dungeon. and get everything out there. But that's what the quest table is. That is our goal. We complete all 3 of these quests when we quest tables. When we complete the quest table, we're good to go. We've won. So if we go back over here, that takes care of the quest tables, right? You can see there's a village terror level. Okay, so the village terror level is important because that's going to be it's not really a timer. You don't necessarily have to think of it as a timer, but it's just a tracker. So let's say that we start on a normal game, the village terror level is 4, right? So if this village terror level ever gets too high up, then we're going to lose the game. All right, and you'll notice that we have 1 through 11, and then there's a skull here. If we ever land on that skull, you can see it says defeated. That means we lose, okay? So that is our lose condition. We get all the way up here to defeated, and we lose. Now, there are some different things that are going to move this track, okay, that are going to move it up, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but that's how that works. So let's go back over here to the village board. So you got a couple options. Get these out of the way because we don't need those anymore. You can lay these cards out here, but one of the other things that we use to track all this information is we're going to use these tokens here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to set these to the side. You can set these to the side to reference them. They don't have to sit out here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a main quest, side quest, kill the Guardians quest token, and then we're going to put an Elder Globe token. So here's the Elder Globe token. We put it red side up. So that means, hey, we haven't completed it. And then I should show you these up close. Here are our quest tokens. We put those out here. Main quest, side quest, kill the Guardians. And again, we're going to do this for all 3 tables because remember what we said? We have to complete all 3 tables in order to win. All 3 quest tables, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So we've got those out there. Great, awesome. So as we complete each of the main quests, side quests, and kill the Guardians quests, so for example, let's see, that's not the right one. The Baron's Wine, right? If you read the card, the heroes must retrieve 2 bottles of wine for Baron Whitmore that lie within the chambers of the ancient depths. They must first journey into the spider lair and locate the onyx key that will unlock the chamber doors within the ancient depths, allowing them to search for the wine. So once we've completed that, right? We've done that. We've got the 2 bottles of wine. We're going to receive, when we turn it in, we're going to receive 400 gold. We're going to get 8 life force. As soon as we do that, in the side quest, right? Side quest, main quest. Whenever we complete either one of those, we flip this token over, and you can see now that says cleared, right? So cleared first quest, main quest, cleared the side quest. And then your kill the Guardian. So you're going to, again, you're going to reference your scenario book, right? And you can, roll the die. You can choose. It's going to tell you whatever, regular, easy, hard. You pick your level, right? So let's say that we're doing it on normal. That says kill the Guardians, right? Guardians per quest table says 3. So as soon as I kill 3 Guardians, I flip this over, right? And once all 3 of these are flipped over, then I can flip this over. Now this is important. This is called the Elder Globe. And as soon as all 3 of these books are showing for that quest table, you flip that over, okay? Now, again, the way that you win is you flip all these over and you have all 3 Elder Globes, and then you get out before the terror track gets all the way to the end. It's important to note that you can complete these in any order for the main quest and side quest. So, for example, maybe I haven't completed the main quest. I've completed the side quest and killed the Guardians quest, but I got lucky, had some good rolls. Maybe before I even completed this first quest table and went back to town, I was able to flip over this side quest. It's perfectly legitimate. Congratulations, you just got a head start, right? It's not impossible to complete tables level 2 and level 3, right? Further on along. Obviously, it's going to be much more difficult because your enemies are going to be a lot more difficult, but it is possible to do. So that's how we win. How we lose, I mentioned the terror track. Important thing we need to talk about the terror track is this incantation track. So as you are milling about and exploring the dungeon, you have regular minion combat, and then you have champions. Remember, champions are specifically enemies that you fight inside of these types of locations. So, for example, if I can read this because it's not upside down, Red Widow's Lair West, there will be a champion that you draw in here and that you fight. You'll have minions that are moving around out here. We're following the patrol route. Champions are inside of here. Guardians also moving in the quadrants. Okay, these guys are champions. So if you get into a situation where you go to fight a champion and you go, oh my gosh, I'm in over my head, I'm not going to be able to beat it, I don't want them to kill me, right? You can evade. You can get out of the chamber. If you do, however, there's a little bit of a penalty. So what's going to happen is you look at the level of the monsters. So let's say that I had a level 2 champion that I was fighting and I evade out. We go to the incantation track. We're going to put a marker on 2. Let's say later on we have a level 3. A level 3. We have a level 1 that we evade from for whatever reason. Now it goes to 3. Anytime we go to here and we land on 4, that's going to trigger a terror track move. Okay? So as soon as we hit on an incantation track on 4, we're going to go over to the terror level board. And now our terror track is going to move up. Our terror level is going to move up. For now, we're at a 5. And again, lose condition right there. Need to also remember when the incantation track gets all the way to the top and the hex is placed on the village that we are going to go to the village board. We're going to remove one of each of the items in the bazaar. So in this case, we lose a healing potion, an elixir, Notre Juice, and a torch. And yes, this can result in the bazaar running out of items. Okay, so make sure that you update those accordingly. What's up, guys? Here, Future Justin, and I forgot to add on this one while I was doing the original filming that when the encounter deck goes empty, so once you've gone through all 40 cards, the terror level will also increase by 1, as well as the minion population spawn. So don't forget that. Make sure you add that. And all right, let's get back to the programming. So we want to keep that down as far as we can. All right, it is also important to note that this incantation track. So let's say, for example, you're on level 3, and heck is on level 3. The incantation track is on level 3, and also you could fill in these, right? So you could put in, like, if you evade a level 2, you could put in 2 of those, and then once it fills up with 4, does the same thing. Okay, but let's say that it's up here to 3, and you evade a level 2. It's going to move to 4. And then you're going to process that whole hex, right? Which means the terror track moves up by 1. And the other bonus that Roger has given us is not only does the terror track move up, but this minion population moves up. So when we talk about setting up the scenario, we'll talk about that. But this is how many minions are roaming about in the dungeon. That number is also going to increase. So, again, a little bit of a penalty there. So those things are processed, and then this gets reset back to 0, so you can just take that off. So, like I said, even if you had a monster that's higher level, you're not going to go back to 0 and then keep going up the track. You're just going to get it up to 4, and then process it, and then take it down to 0, move up your terror track, change your minion population track. Cool. So that is how the incantation track works. All right, so when we talk about winning, completing the quest tables is how we win. But let's say we're on the first quest table. We flip this over. Right, it was like this. We flip it over. Boom. That quest table is complete. We flip this Elder Globe over. Boom. Now we're going to start a countdown. So that means that we've got three more turns, really rounds essentially, before we're teleported back to the village. So we're going to use this to start as a countdown. So we got 3 more rounds / turns. The way that it's written in the rulebook, it says turns, but it's really rounds. And we're going to complete out all of our hero turns, which is all of our heroes go. I'll call that a round. Then we're going to move this down. Then we're going to say, okay, we're going to do a whole nother set of hero, the whole gamut. The hero phase, the minion phase, the guardian phase, all that stuff. Do it again. And then finally, when we land on the teleport, which will happen during the upkeep, that's going to move over. And we go to town, go to the village, process our village stuff, and then we'll come back out here and take care of that. Also, and I'll talk about this specifically when we talk about characters, but as far as level, in the rule book, it refers to the character level, and it shows a graphic that's got like a green circle, a little green globe on page, it's page 19 currently, but you can see here, right there, that green globe. It says restriction of level of the hero greater than or equal to those +1, and that's talking about the Elder Globe. So, for example, at the start of the game, your maximum level, right, because we haven't completed everything, is 1. Once I complete the quest table 1, then this flips over, so now my maximum level is 2. We do the celebration day, come back, complete all of these again. That means this is flipped. So once I've completed my second quest table, my maximum level is 3. And then, so that lets me get into this third quest table. And then technically my level would be 4. There's nothing for 4 yet, at least at the time of this recording. But that's how that works. So hopefully it gives you a good idea of how to win, and how winning and how losing in the incantation track and all that works in Dungeon Crusade. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing and taking a look at this playlist. I will see you in the next video, my friends. Bye, guys.